The Atlanta Motor Speedway is one of NASCAR's fastest tracks, and it's also the home of some of the closest finishes in NASCAR history. On this Labor Day weekend, the stars of NASCAR have their work cut out as we get set for 500 miles of very fast racing here at the Atlanta Motor Speedway. Get set, everybody. NASCAR Race Day, built by the Home Depot, is next.
After the year's last off week, there are only a few fighting for the final spot in the chase, teetering on the edge as the regular season winds down. Tonight, they try to take steps away from the edge. So they prepare as normal, heading into the final weeks and their last chance at the chase. All but one will falter and end their postseason hopes. Fire it up. Under the southern sky, the lights will show us who is worthy tonight. That last spot is anything but settled. And these last 2 weeks are the final showdown. Because their hearts never stop beating, their blood never stops pumping, their desire to win never stops driving them. Even if they go over the edge, NASCAR Race Day is next on Speed.
Just south of the Atlanta metropolitan area sits 1.5 miles of very fast asphalt. It's a new tradition for the Labor Day weekend, 500 miles of high-speed racing at the Atlanta Motor Speedway. With 2 to go before the chase, Clint Boyer and the number 33 team are in, and there are 3 on the outside trying to race their way in. Jamie McMurray has the best chance as of now to break in, but watch out for Ryan Newman and Mark Martin, who won't slow down until it's done. There is only one thing better than racing in Atlanta, and that's racing here under the lights. Hold on, everyone. This is one of the fastest joints anywhere, and on the official last weekend of summer, we're calling this the first day of the rest of the NASCAR season. It is a beautiful day here in Atlanta, sunny skies, and it's going to be a long day's journey in tonight as we get ready for night racing at the AMS. Hello, everybody. I'm John Roberts. Welcome once again to NASCAR Race Day, built by the Home Depot. He is Kyle Petty, and he is race car driver number 28, Kenny Wallace. Guys, what a beautiful day. What a great crowd. It could not get much better than this.
This week, I heard an interview by Jeff Burton. Jeff Burton said, you know, one of the biggest disappointments of my career will be if I don't win a championship. This comes from a great race car driver that has won a lot of championships. So tonight, we start this night out saying, okay, we're going to put the spotlight on 4 drivers that have a chance to win a championship. Clint Boyer's in. Chasing him is Mark Martin. And then we got Jamie McMurray and Ryan Newman. Kyle, these guys want to win a championship because it means so much to them.
And there's only 2 races left for those guys to either get their way in or get their way out, one way or the other. Doesn't make any difference. Those are the transfer spots.
And it's cliche, but you got to be in it to win it. And here's the guys right now who are in it and have a chance to win it. But that definitely could change over the next couple of weekends. Kevin Harvick and Jeff Gordon in the yellow have clinched. It is likely that the top 8 could clinch at the end of this night, and also it is possible that the top 11 could clinch if things go their way. But then again, guys, this is Atlanta. It's fast. Things happen in a hurry here.
Well, what's exciting is it's showtime. You know, 10 weeks ago, we go, these could change. This is it, Kyle.
Yeah, this is it. And, you know, we talk about this. The 12, or Clint Boyer is the transfer spot. But you see these 3 or 4 guys behind him. They're nipping at his heels. The point is, but the problem is, they're just running out of time, man.
I say there's only one way that Clint Boyer can lose this. I feel it's Clint Boyer's to lose. Clint Boyer will be in the 12th spot only if he doesn't blow a motor. Only if he doesn't have a flat tire. Only if he doesn't get in a wreck. That's why we watch the race tonight. This is a big race.
For somebody to get in, somebody has to fall out. We have a chance to learn a lot tonight, but we also have a chance to build a lot of drama heading into the final weekend of the regular season at Richmond. For more, let's go to Wendy Venturini.
Good evening, Johnny. Now with 2 races remaining to the chase cutoff, in the history of the chase, 90 points is the most anyone has ever made up. Happened in 2006 with Casey Kahne. As we come into Atlanta, it's 100 points coming into these final 2 races. Right now, Clint Bowyer is in 12th spot, and when he comes here at Atlanta, his best finish has been 6th. They worked on rear end housings this weekend, trying to get Clint Bowyer more rear grip for his race car. If you look right next door in the garage area, 13th place Jamie McMurray trying to fight his way into the chase. 100 points is the disadvantage for Jamie Mack coming into Atlanta. His best finish also 6th, but folks, he's got some momentum on his side with that nationwide win yesterday. They worked on a lot. He also had the opportunity to test here at Atlanta, one of the few guys. So some things are the advantage for Jamie Mack. Can he do it? That's the big question. I believe it's Clint Bowyer's chase to lose. Now let's head over to my good friend, Hermie Sadler.
Well, thank you, Winnie. If you look down in the points a little bit at 2 other guys trying to get in this chase, it's Mark Martin and Ryan Newman. Now, Ryan Newman is 15th in points. He's currently 118 points out of that 12th spot. Now, Ryan won early this year at Phoenix, and his car's been pretty fast. What's bitten him is 4 DNFs. He's had 4 races. He's lost a lot of points, and it's only come back 2 races left to make up all these points. He has 7 poles here. He needs to get this qualifying run turning into a race win and try to get maximum points here tonight at Atlanta. Now, Mark Martin, the car right here behind me in the garage, he is 14th in points, minus 101 from getting into this chase. The problem with Mark Martin all year long, they just have not had the speed that they had in these cars last year. And Mark has talked about it, and we'll talk to Mark later tonight about on the show about what he needs to do to get this speed in this car, not only for this year, but also in the next year. Now, Mark has won here, but not since 1994. He'd like to return to victory lane tonight, Johnny.
Hermie, thanks a lot. You can see they're revved up in the garage, and we're revved up out here at the stage as well. Guys, 2 things can happen tonight. One thing could mean for a lot of drama in Richmond. We could see all kind of shuffling going on. Mathematically, you hate to bring it up, but there's some of the guys in there right now. I know you love when I say mathematically. And realistically, too. Some guys that are in right now could actually go into Richmond outside. It can happen.
Yeah, some guys, yeah. Like who?
Like Jimmy Johnson, mathematically.
Mathematically, I don't look. Obviously,
not realistically.
Not realistically, though, and that's the whole point. I think when you look at this, the thing is, we have to keep in mind Bristol. The 39 car went into Bristol 100 or so points down, having to catch the 33 car. The 39 car has a great night. He finishes 6th. Okay, he maximizes his position almost, only 4 or 5 positions in front of him. But the 33 car finishes 4th, and he loses position. So how disheartening is it when you're trying to beat this one guy, and that's all he's trying to beat, and he beats you by 2 positions and you lose? That's what this chase is all about. That's what Atlanta's all about, and that's what Richmond's going to be about for this group of drivers.
And that's how tough it is.
And I was in last night's nationwide race, and I can tell you one thing. This race will not be won by staying out. This track is worn. It's old. It's like Darlington now. If you don't put on tires, you're going to lose. It seems like these tires are falling off 3 seconds after about 20 laps. So it could be won tonight. You know, getting into the top 12 could be done on pit road. Strategy is going to be a big deal, so tune in tonight.
This evening on NASCAR Race Day, built by the Home Depot, we got a big show for you as we count down to the chase. We have champions, contenders, race winners, and also we will tell you how one driver has a shot at making some serious NASCAR history tonight.
Kurt made all the right moves on his way to victory here in March. And in honor of his quest for Atlanta domination, we've got some of the ATL's most memorable season sweeps. And we're reaching way back in the vault for this one. Coming at you, NASCAR Race Day on Speed.
NASCAR Race Day is built by the Home Depot. More saving, more doing. That's the power of the Home Depot. Brought to you in part by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and by Cheerios. Check out Cheerios.com/love for heart-healthy tips and a chance to win the ultimate race weekend.
Here at the Atlanta Motor Speedway, there have been 7 season sweeps. That means 7 different drivers have won both events in the same year. In fact, Jimmy Johnson was the last one to do it back in 2007. But on this year, the last chance belongs to Kurt Busch.
Ever since the track, now known as Atlanta Motor Speedway, opened for business in 1960, it has been one of the fastest on NASCAR's premier circuit. Whether it was the true oval with the long sweeping turns that drivers raced on for nearly 40 years, or the quad oval that today's heroes have been racing on since 1997, Atlanta Motor Speedway has proven not only to be lightning fast, but tricky to maneuver. And only a select group of men have been able to sweep both the spring and fall events over the last 50 years. The first driver who managed to sweep Atlanta was Marvin Panch, driving for the legendary Wood Brothers team. Panch won both races in 1965, a 500-miler in the spring, and then a 400-mile contest in June. The Woods' famous 21 would go to victory lane 10 more times at Atlanta with 6 different drivers, most recently in 1993 with Morgan Shepherd. The first driver to sweep Atlanta's 500-milers was Bobby Allison. Driving a car wrenched by NASCAR Hall of Famer Junior Johnson, Allison pulled the Atlanta double in 1972.
Bobby Allison wins it. A.J. Boyd is second, Bobby Isaac is third.
Just a year later, David Pearson continued the Wood Brothers' mastery of Atlanta by doubling up for his first of 4 Atlanta triumphs.
They'll always run good here in Atlanta, but it seemed like right at the end of the race, always something happened. But this time, everything held together.
I think Pearson won the race in Atlanta, and I looked at him and said, boy, I'd like to do that. I was sitting in the infield watching the race. I think he won the race that day, and I said, boy, I'd like to do that.
Not only did he manage to be like Pearson, hometown favorite Bill Elliott's Atlanta sweep in 1985 pushed his win total to 11 that magical season, bettering Pearson's 1973 record for super speedway wins in a single season by 1. In 1992, driving for Junior Johnson, Elliott looked to become the first driver to sweep Atlanta twice.
You know, in the spring, we had won the first race in Atlanta, but I mean, we were terrible. We were about a 20th place car. I felt like I needed to back into victory lane, but we won the race.
Following his spring win, Elliott was not only looking for the Atlanta double, but was engaged in a war for the championship with Davey Allison and Alan Kulwicki. Allison would fall from contention due to an accident with Ernie Irvin, leaving Elliott and Kulwicki to fight it out for the championship.
But our Kulwicki ran well, and it's just ironic the way everything fell out, and it just became such a close, I guess probably one of the closest points race in history. I mean, the way it all turned out and came down to the end.
Bill Elliott comes off the 4th corner. He wins the Hooters 500. But Alan Kulwicki is coming off of corner number 4, knowing that he's winning the championship.
It would take over a decade and see Atlanta Motor Speedway reconfigured before another driver would have a chance to do the double. Carl Edwards looked to make his mark in 2005.
Jimmy Johnson to the inside. Edwards riding the rim on the top side of the racetrack. Down to the stripe. They touch. Edwards at the line. Beats Jimmy Johnson.
Despite falling just short a couple of years prior, Jimmy Johnson added another record to his legendary resume by sweeping both events in 2007.
Johnson charges into turn 1. Stewart valiantly battling back on the high side. Will Jimmy be able to hold him off turn 2? Here comes Stewart. They touch. They're side by side.
You guys rock, boys. Thank you. That was nice, dude. That was nice.
With Atlanta Motor Speedway only hosting the Labor Day race in 2011 and beyond, Kurt Busch hopes his win in March has set him up on a date with destiny tonight.
Both of Kurt's wins in 2010 have come from both Charlotte and Atlanta 1.5-mile tracks. What does that mean for today, Kurt? Does it mean you can make it the sweep here for Atlanta?
We're definitely gearing up for it, and hopefully it's a good omen. I mean, we've been strong on the 1.5 miles, and just hoping that we can get back in the groove and settle into what we have to do here at Atlanta, which is tire management and then make the right pit calls as far as when we need to do the pits. I mean, you see a lot of green flag stops here, and sometimes guys short pit and they get out there with fresh tires and gain that track position.
Now, during practice, I was listening to the radio communication. You and Steve Addington were doing a lot of spring changes. It sounded like you rolled off the hauler perfectly and you were fine-tuning all day this weekend in practice. So how did you get a feel for that race car? Was it meticulously fine-tuning in your eyes?
Yeah, that's exactly what it was. We were really fast right off the truck, and we tried to teach ourselves new things. And we went back to a test we did, and then a couple weeks ago we were at Milwaukee, learned a couple things, and tried to apply that to a 1.5 mile atmosphere to see how the car would react to it. So a lot of homework was getting done, but maybe we didn't make the car as fast as we needed to be, because it feels like there's a couple cars quicker than us right now, but we haven't made it in nightfall yet, and that's what we're really excited about, is when we get about halfway through the race, hopefully the Miller Lite Dodge is in it to win it.
Now we have a long night ahead of us, as you mentioned. It's only 40 points that separate 5th through 10th. It really doesn't mean too much because in Richmond, when we reset, it's all going to go to the wayside. What are your thoughts going into today's race and what you need to do in these final 2 races before the chase cutoff?
Well, it'd be great if we got a top 10 spot tonight. That would lock us into the chase. That would give us a breather in Richmond. So that's ultimately the goal tonight. We got some Miller Lite representatives here tonight hanging out and enjoying Labor Day weekend. And this is starting to feel like a tradition. Atlanta, Labor Day weekend, and it's just fun racing Sunday night. And then we got Monday, Labor Day off.
I'm looking forward to. Good luck to you, Kurt Busch, who will start 11th. Johnny?
Wendy, thank you very much. Now, once again, the reason why Kurt Busch could be the last guy to sweep here is because this is the last year for Atlanta to have 2 events. They will go to just the Labor Day weekend, so it would be huge for Kurt, guys, to get that little piece of history.
Yeah, it's like winning the first time they go to a concrete track or winning the first time they change a configuration. You go in the books as the first. He can go in the books as the last here with Ponch or with Marvin Panch and guys like that, which is a big honor.
You know, I think of Atlanta Motor Speedway. I think about it being a kid coming out of St. Louis, coming down the highway, and boy, they had those big old fern trees in the corners. The walls were red and white. You're thinking David Pearson, you know, Cale Yarborough, and this is the last time, race fans. It's not sad, it's exciting, but this is the last time, the last year we'll have 2 races here. Long live Atlanta Motor Speedway. But this is the last time somebody will be able to have a chance to win 2 races at this great racetrack.
And there also was a day that Atlanta marked the final race of the season where we normally crown the champion. And back in 1992, it was a classic. There was another St. Louis guy. Paul Andrews was on top of the pit box, and Alan Kulwicki pulled off a big one.
Yeah, and I don't think people remember that race. I think that people remember that race as being the King's final race and Jeff Gordon's first race. But something else big happened that day that a lot of people don't remember. Alan Kulwicki won the championship that year. And really, Alan was the first guy that came along that drove a race car that had that engineering background, like we talk about Ryan Newman and guys like that. You know, he really understood the engineering side. So Alan was almost ahead of his time because he brought engineering to the game. At the same time, he was behind the times. He was the last owner driver to win a race. So you look at Richard Petty, the old school, you look at Jeff Gordon, new school, and you look at Alan Kulwicki as being that bridge. I think we'll look back in the future at that day, just like we look back at the 79 Daytona 500 and some of those as a very historic day for a multitude of reasons.
Yes, and all part of the incredible history here at Atlanta.
Yes.
I love Atlanta. That's for sure. It's going to be a little sad. This guy here saying, give us our race back. Hey, here's what I say, race fans. I say, no, listen here, race fans. Be happy you're going to have one. There are hundreds of racetracks in the United States that want a cup date, right, Kyle?
Exactly. And this is a huge tradition being made here. Labor Day weekend racing here at the Atlanta Motor Speedway. Now, when we come back, 2 weeks ago, another Busch brother got his piece of NASCAR history. We'll talk to Kyle about that and the possibilities of getting another win before the regular season's over. At the age of 25, Kyle Busch has 79 total NASCAR wins in the 3 Top Series. But what he pulled off 2 weekends ago in Bristol was something no one else has done before. He won in all of NASCAR's 3 Top Series at the same track on the same weekend. So he has that little bit of history. But right now, he wants to make history with his first ever Sprint Cup Series championship. Let's go to Hermie Sadler.
Well, thank you, Johnny. Catching a few minutes with Kyle Busch. Have you got heels on, or am I getting shorter? What's going on?
You just might be getting a little bit shorter. We got to raise the seat up for you?
Yeah, I might need a booster seat at Richmond next week, and at least I don't have to drive a pink car, though.
Yeah, well, the pink car is going to be fun. I look forward to it. You know, real men wear pink, right?
I had to wear pink back in the day. I always say the car might be pink, but the money is green, so take it to victory lane. But I know we want to talk about Atlanta, but let's go back to Bristol a couple weeks ago. What a special weekend that had to be for you to not only win 3 races, but 3 different cars and all the circumstances that surrounded each race. Congratulations on a tremendous weekend for you.
I appreciate it. It was really, really cool. And, you know, of course, to have everything go right, I mean, over a weekend, it takes so many people, so many circumstances to kind of get to go your way. And racing with my truck team in the truck series, and, of course, Joe Gibbs Racing nationwide and the Cup cars, and to have it all flow together like that on one weekend was pretty special. So real proud of the effort by everybody, and of course all the guys at the shop that build all the vehicles and everything too. It was fun, and for me to be the first to ever do it in NASCAR, it's pretty special. You know, hopefully maybe I can do it again, and I'm sure, you know, any record's always made to be broken, so I'm sure somewhere down the road somebody else will be able to do it too.
And let's talk about Atlanta this weekend. It looked like in practice all the Joe Gibbs Racing cars looked very good on the long runs, and you're able to back that up with a pretty good qualifying effort as well. And this track has been hit or miss for you, but I've seen you win a race here, and how important would it be to get another win heading into the chase and get those extra bonus points?
It'd be pretty important. You know, Denny and Jimmy, of course, have 5. We've got 3. We tied with Harvick, but you know, we'd like to be able to get another win here tonight. If not, you know, maybe next week in Richmond as well, too. Another track I tend to run well at. So I'm looking forward to it. You know, I feel like we do have a good car and race trim. Denny feels really good about his stuff, so I know they're excited about it. And, you know, hopefully we can take a Joe Gibbs racing car to victory lane tonight. That'd be pretty special. And carry that on and our momentum on into next week before the chase starts.
Tell us, the fans here on race day, how important would a Sprint Cup Series championship be to you? You got a lot of years left, but I know you're a very competitive guy. Yeah. How big a deal would it be for you to get that this year?
It would be huge. You know, I feel like it's taken too long already. Jimmy Johnson's kind of hoarding them to himself and taking everybody's chances away. But, you know, it's always something that every driver wants to accomplish, even when you're young and racing at the local series and being able to move up and get your way up to the Cup Series. And now being here, being able to win races, yeah, that's great. But you got to put it all together and win a championship. And right now, you know, we haven't quite had the summer months we've wanted, but the guys have really been working hard. Dave's been doing a phenomenal job for us, and I'm hoping that tonight this pedigree Camry will be strong enough to where we can go to victory lane and of course just kind of keep that momentum rolling throughout the chase and through the final 10 races.
Kyle Busch has a lot of momentum right now, coming off a win at Bristol, looking to get another win tonight, and I got to give me some more shoes before I come back and interview this guy. Short and fat, JR. Can't help it.
Hey, that's a tough way to go through life, Herman. We all know how that feels. But for Kyle Busch, it definitely has been feast or famine at this racetrack. 12 starts, 1 win, but only 2 top 10 finishes. But you should never write off Kyle Busch, no matter what you're racing or where you're racing it.
You know, I'm almost out of breath and almost like, wow. You know, when my brother Rusty Wallace came along and he was winning races, they called him cocky and brash. Now, I don't know what they call it, but all I've got to say is this.
We can't say it on TV, what they call it.
You know, listen, race fans, he's only 25 years old. Now, I'm not asking you, and I'm not telling you who you should like, but I will tell you that if this kid was in your having a beer with you, you would love him to death. His interviews might come across wrong. 79 wins at 25 years old. He is one of the greatest race car drivers to ever live. 25 years old, 79 wins. It's unbelievable. Look, the fans are booing. They can't stand him because, Kyle, his interviews are a little rough. So does that make him bad?
No, you know what? He did something last week, or did something at Bristol that I'm not sure I've seen done in a long, long time, and I'm not sure I've ever seen it done in this sport. When they did driver introductions at Bristol, he told those guys, he said, I've won the truck race, I've won the nationwide race. Are you ready to watch me win my 3rd one? And he went out and he won it. When you call it and you win it, that's what it's all about. And I'm telling you something, it adds something to the sport. I don't care what goes on. You don't have to like him personally, but you cannot take away from his ability.
It's like Babe Ruth, point of defense.
He points and goes, man.
And race fans, here's what you should love about it, okay? I will ask you this. Do you like a villain and a hero? Without Kyle Busch, we have no villain. He's wearing the black hat. You have to appreciate it. And he loves it because he teases you. He goes like this, oh, and then he goes, eh. He wins the truck race. I loved it. He wins the truck in the Busch race at Bristol, and he looks at all the fans, and they're like, boo, and he goes, wah. I'm going to take my trophy.
Yeah.
I loved it.
Hey, well, we like him so much, we decided to make him our pick for our NASCAR Fantasy Racing Cup edition here on Speed. Team Race Day is now up on NASCAR Race Hub, and we believe that Kyle Busch is going to help us get to the front of the pack even further because trackside, man, look at the trackside, guys.
They suck.
That's Larry Mack and Hammond.
That's the greatest. That's the crew chief side. That's the crew chief side.
Nobody better than us.
We got Kyle Busch, Clint Boyer, and how about David Gilliland? Been doing a great job out of our C group, and he's helped us to the top. Now, when we come back, it is hard to believe how many drivers in the chase have not won so far this year. We will talk about the opportunity for some of these winless drivers to take at least 10 bonus points into the chase with them when it starts in a couple of weeks.
We've already heard from the Busch brothers, and there are more stellar guests on tap for your viewing pleasure. Gordon lets us pick his brain about life beyond the track, and we find out what desperation smells like as Casey Mark and Jamie Mack clue us in on the set and let us know how life outside the chase looks right about now. Straight ahead, NASCAR Race Day on Speed.
Well, this race here at Atlanta Motor Speedway is a new tradition, but what's an old tradition is cooking out on Labor Day and cooking out at the racetrack. We said it before, and we'll say it again. NASCAR fans don't tailgate for 2 hours. They tailgate for 2 weeks, especially here at Atlanta. A lot of fans left Bristol and just came down here and started cooking and doing other things that you do there that I don't know too much about. Probably had something to do with beer. Now, we got food and beer put together with Nicky Morse, the racing chef. We love coming down here because it smells so good.
You know what? I've been out the whole weekend. I've been out with all different campers, seeing everybody's food. I thought, I'm going to show you something you can put on your grill. I'm going to show you my rendition of beer can chicken.
Nice. Beer can and chicken.
Who doesn't love beer? Woo! Well, the first thing you do is pour it out.
That's a tragedy.
I will drink it.
I'm going to leave about 4 ounces in here. All right.
Okay, I'm glad you left something in there.
Yeah, we got to load it back up. You're going to fill this can back up.
Okay.
We got.
I'm usually used to doing it the other way.
Well, that's okay.
Okay.
Put some melted butter in there.
Okay.
Got a stick of butter right there. Use the funnel, and you're going to put a half a cup of Mike's hard lemonade, the peach flavor, because we're in Atlanta.
Of course.
That's it.
Peachtree State.
Now, while you're doing that, I've got a mixture here of some Hungarian paprika, sugar, salt, garlic, and onion powder.
All right.
Now, I'm going fast. If you guys want to make this when you get home, I'll put the recipe on theracingchef.com.
We do everything fast at Atlanta.
That's it. Go ahead and...
okay, there's your beer can.
Now you got to put the herbs in there.
Put the herbs in there, too? Okay.
Yeah.
Like that little rosemary?
Oh, yeah, the rosemary, the thyme, a garlic clove.
Parsley, sage, rosemary, and thyme?
That's it.
All right.
We know what generation you're from.
Whole garlic clove goes in there?
The whole garlic clove
I love
and those
that.
2 peppercorns.
The 2 peppercorns, too. I'm going to shove that.
This is so simple.
This is
We're going to
really
put that right under here.
Okay. Put the beer can under there?
Put the beer can right in there.
Okay.
We're going to slide.
Again, I'm used to grabbing it the other way, not
Well,
taking
yeah,
it away.
I know. We're going to put the chicken right over. Hold that right there.
Okay. Got it.
You got it?
I think I do.
Okay.
Where's Larry Mack when we need him?
Come
we need
on,
a good setup
you
here.
know what? Larry Mack, he's like a professional chef. This is going right over here.
Okay.
Now, I've got a few of these already on the grill that you can look at if you want, but they're not ready yet.
Let's
and
take
when
a look,
they're
let's take a
ready,
sneak peek.
I'm going to come up. Now, I'll tell you one thing. I
Nice.
know. Yeah. Woo. How those look?
Looks good. Looks
Well,
real good.
You know, when I was a kid, my grandma always cooked something for me on the side because I didn't have the grown-up taste yet. And I don't know if Kyle, if he's eating herbs and, you know, things like that. So I got some bologna here for him if he doesn't eat chicken.
Hey, there's a lot of bologna up there.
There is a lot of bologna
You want
up
the
there.
bologna?
Yeah, baby, you.
I'm hungry. I'm not eating chicken on a can. I'm not
We'll
eating
feed
chicken
you guys
on
in
a
a
can.
minute, but first of all, let's check in with the Chad, crew chief Chad Knaus, the number 48 for your Sunoco pit strategy of the week.
Who doesn't love a race on a holiday weekend? Labor Day weekend here in Atlanta, guys, and this is a very exciting race. Sunday night, under the lights, 500 miles. But the thing you have to realize is, for the crew chiefs, a very difficult race to call, especially when it comes to fuel mileage. When you're running on new sticker tires, you're gonna be right around the bottom of this 1.5 mile racetrack, just digging really fast. But as the pace slows down, and trust me, it will slow down up to 3 seconds a lap slower when you get to the end of a Sunoco fuel run, which is about 56 laps. You're running way around the top of the racetrack, and that really changes your fuel mileage. So the crew chiefs and the engineers are really going to have to be on top of their game to make sure they don't run out of fuel. Fresh tires and clean air, that's what's going to win this race come the end of 500 miles.
After the checkered flag is waved, be sure to check out NASCAR Victory Lane, fueled by Sunoco, and catch all of the race highlights in raw emotion straight from Victory Lane. And you just may well be talking to Jimmy Johnson after this one. Also, go to speed.com, keyword Sunoco, to enter for your chance to win an autographed flag signed by the winner of tonight's race. Now, there are lots of very, very good drivers who have not won yet this season, and they are dying to grab at least 10, maybe 20 bonus points before we begin the 2010 version of the Chase for the Championship. Welcome back, everyone, to NASCAR Race Day, built by the Home Depot, coming to you from the Atlanta Motor Speedway, a place where Tony Stewart has won before, but he has been shut out of Victory Lane so far this season, as has Jeff Burton, but they are still in championship contention. As we look at the top 12 in points, you will see that 6 of the top 12 have not won yet, and Jimmy Johnson has showed us, gentlemen, over the last 4 years that you simply cannot win a championship these days without winning races.
I think this stat right here shows you you how hard it is to win, because you got a guy second and what, fourth in the points that haven't won a race, and they're good.
Well, and also for that matter, we got Denny Hamlin and Jimmy Johnson with almost half the wins this season available.
Yeah, and you know, that's tough. It's just like we heard Kyle Busch say, hey, these guys are stealing championships from me. I got to get them in there. I've got to win some championships because Jimmy's taking all the championships. He's ready to take one right now.
For more on the importance of winning, let's go back inside to Wendy Venturini.
Thanks, Johnny. We all know that the chase cutoff will begin next week after Richmond. Those 12 drivers will chase for that championship. But what's more important are the 10 bonus points that each of those drivers get when we get to that chase. And right now, 6 of the 12 in the chase have a big goose egg. They desperately want to get a W in their column in the next 2 races in order to get bonus points. We checked in with a few of them.
You know, we really haven't been close to winning here really in a couple months, but the last couple weeks seem like we've been improving. We've been running more toward the front. So unless you're really, really lucky, you got to get running up within them top 5 cars week in and week out and leading laps and put yourself in position before you're going to be winning races. So we're just trying to keep getting better every week.
I mean, we got 2 weeks to get bonus points, so it's definitely the goal, but it doesn't seal the deal that we don't have a shot at it if we don't get any of those bonus points before. It just means we got a little further to go. So you know, we're definitely gonna, there's no way we're gonna be even with those guys to start with. Best case scenario, we're gonna be 30.
You know, I think we've got an awesome shot at the championship. What I don't like is us spotting, you know, the 11 and the 48, you know, 50 points, you know, going into it. That's what I don't like. So if we could cut into that these next couple weeks, I think that we've got as good a shot as anybody.
I agree with him that the most important thing at that point is winning, because 10 bonus points I think is a great thing to have.
The only ones that can beat us and take us out of this things are ourselves, and I really believe that. I told my guys, you know, a couple weeks ago, I said, we get in this thing, we're going to run good, because there's no pressure. You know, you go into it, the 12th seat, nobody's looking at you as a threat, and you just quietly go out there and have fun, and the results come.
You can hear the nonchalance in Clint Boyer's attitude, but somebody like Jeff Gordon is not happy that Jimmy Johnson and Denny Hamlin will have a 50-point lead when we get to Richmond as of today. And that 50 points can make a big difference when we get down to Homestead. Johnny?
Wendy, thank you very much. It was also NASCAR's point to put more emphasis. That's why they added the bonus points for a win that come back to you during a chase. But also, you got to get them before you get into the chase. But Jeff Gordon and Jimmy Johnson showed us a couple years back, guys, you got to win in the chase as well. Gordon averaged a top 5 finish. He couldn't beat Jimmy Johnson.
We all want to win. Hello, duh. We all want to win. We want to win at playing golf or cornhole. But race fans, listen, does Jeff Gordon need to win right now? No, he doesn't need to win right now because he is in the chase. There's a difference. You know, something you want, you must need. He wants to win. And here's why I say this. Kyle, listen, Jamie McMurray's got 2 of the biggest wins of the year. He's not in the chase. So, yes, we all want to win. Does Jeff Gordon, Jeff Burton need a win right now? They want one. They don't need one.
But Jamie might have 2, but he's looking for 3.
Yes.
Okay, so let's be honest there. Okay, so let's be honest. So here's the deal. When you look at this, and you look at Jeff, and especially Jeff Burton and Tony Stewart, talked to those 2 guys yesterday. They said wins are critical. There's 2 races left. They think, and they the chase, and I do also. I believe the chase. They don't want to spot Jimmy Johnson 50 points. Jeff Gordon over the winter, he and Steve Letarte said, to win the championship, you have to win races. Can't do it finishing second. Can't do it finishing third. You've got to win races, and that's what these guys are going for. And with 2 to go, these guys are trying to win races. Forget the points. They're going to be in the chase. They're trying to win races.
And the first year we had this chase format, remember, it was fewer than 10 points that won it for Kurt Busch at Homestead in the final race. So that's how important a win actually is. Is it realistically or mathematically possible for Kasey Kahne to get in the chase? You decide. We'll talk to him when we come back.
The hit parade keeps on coming as Kahne, Mr. Martin, and McMurray chime in on the regular season's closing weeks, while Jeff swings by to talk shop, the chase, and his foundation. Then, the Headset Brigade does a mad scramble when Hermie and Wendy hit the pavement for the race day lightning round. You've got questions, we've got answers. Sort of NASCAR Race Day on speed.
Well, this is the final year for Kasey Kahne in the Budweiser Ford, and if he wants to go out with a bang, he's got to make the chase, and in order to make that chase, he's got to get a win here tonight at the Atlanta Motor Speedway. But that is definitely a possibility because he pulled that off back in 2009 in the fall at this very fast racetrack. Let's go to Hermie Sadler.
Well, thank you, JR. We've got last year's race winner, Kasey Kahne. You took that Budweiser car to victory lane 1 year ago. What is it with you guys when the sun goes down, your car seems to come to life here, Charlotte, wherever, when the lights come on, you guys get to the front somehow?
Yeah, we seem to be better at night a lot of the times, ever since I've kind of been in Cup, and I think it's just a little more rear grip, keep the front turning, keep the momentum going, and this has been a good track for us in the past. We have another fast Budweiser Valvoline Ford this weekend, so we'll see how it goes. I'm looking forward to it.
You know, a lot of fans, here on Race Day, we want to give some behind-the-scenes information about it. The fans always want to know about dollar exotic cars you guys drive back and forth to the racetrack. And I see here you've got a beautiful Ford Ranger here. What is this your piece?
This is mine and my cousin Willie's. We went in halves on this back in 2000, and we're letting Brad use it for a little while, pull it behind the bus, and we thought it looked good, so we're bringing it along.
So with the Mercury wheels on it, and tell me about the air conditioning and how the radio works in this thing.
Well, rolling the windows down, that's the air conditioning. There's no radio, so you just run an iPod with earphones, and it's actually not a bad ride. It gets down the road pretty good.
Flat black, you can't beat it right here at Ranger for Kasey Kahne. One more racing question. How about tonight? You won this race obviously again last year. You guys been pretty good in practice. What's it going to take to repeat this here tonight?
Well, just stay with the track. Last night we were pretty quick in a great clips car, and we just the track got looser, and I got way too loose, couldn't hang with them. So hopefully tonight we can stick with the track a little bit better, make the ride adjustments, and be there late in the race. That's what we did last year. We were there late. I think Harvick was the best car, and we were able to pull it off at the end.
And talk about Charlotte Motor Speedway coming up. We want to let the fans know Budweiser is getting involved with the racetrack for a promotion called Octoberfest coming up. A whole grandstand and a big party, and you're gonna stop by and say hello. Tell us about it.
Yeah, Bud's doing some neat stuff for the Charlotte race. We're looking forward to that race and have tons of Anheuser-Busch, a lot of different products there for everybody to enjoy. And we're gonna have a question and answer, do some autographs, pictures, things like that. So it should be a fun race. It always is. So with Bud involved, it should even be better.
We want all the fans to watch out. After the race tonight, you could see Kasey Kahne driving the Ranger straight out here to North Carolina. I want to go to Kenny Wallace and see what your thoughts are on Oktoberfest. You're going to be a part of that too, Kenny.
Let me explain to all my friends and fans throughout the United States. You come to Charlotte Motor Speedway in October for Oktoberfest. Here's what it really is. Party Central, baby. You buy those tickets. Me, JR, and Rutledge, we're going to be there. I believe October 16th on that Saturday. We're going to party it up with you. I don't know, they might let me have that much beer or so. But that's what it's all about. You will leave your tailgating area, and you will go in the grandstands, and we will party, baby.
And Miss London Hunter that you see there, she'll be with us as well. And you know what? If you already have tickets, you can upgrade your ticket by calling the Oktoberfest office, but you can also get a ticket that will allow you to attend Oktoberfest. So be sure to join us at the Charlotte Motor Speedway. It's going to be a good time. We got Kasey Kahne and beer. How can you go wrong?
We will serve you beer.
Kenny Wallace will serve you beer.
Beer here, baby.
How about that? You got to see us for that. And also, speaking of beer, there is beer inside those chickens that Racing Chef Nicky has for us, and he'll be back up with us in just a moment.
For two of the circuit's biggest names, fall can't come soon enough. After stellar starts to their seasons, Jimmy and Denny have hit the skids.
Hey, the hood just flew up, guys. I can't see, guys.
We'll show you how the mighty have fallen, and if their cruel summers will lead to chase misery. Around the Turn, NASCAR Race Day on Speed.
Everyone to NASCAR Race Day, built by the Home Depot. The fans down here at Atlanta love this May tradition we have started with a doubleheader weekend. It starts out on Friday night with a nationwide series in this race, and you said tires were key.
Oh my gosh, it was big. Well, this race was rather unique. It started at 7 o'clock. Look at the daylight, race fans. It's like we're starting at noon. That's very unique for Atlanta. But as you can see, the race quickly falls into night, and the game just changed quickly.
And what happened very quickly was for Reed Sorensen from Peachtree City, Georgia. He goes into the outside retaining wall. That brought out the final caution in this race, as it was a tough break for Reed, as there was nothing he could do after that. Brad Keselowski decided to stay out, Kenny, and that was not a wise thing to do.
And everybody in tonight's Sprint Cup race will watch this. This is a good driver right there. He falls all the way to the last car on the lead lap. You will need 4 new tires for the race tonight because of what they've seen Brad Keselowski do right here, Kyle.
Jamie McMurray in the number 88 comes around and takes the checkered flag to continue his absolute season. 2 huge victories on the Cup side. Now this one in the Nationwide Series for Jamie McMurray. The good news, though, is he had such a big lead on Carl Edwards. Was that the bad tires, the old tires? Didn't really matter that much. Still 332 points ahead. Kyle Busch 551 backs. Looks like BK22 is looking very get the championship in the Nationwide Series. Now let's go to Kentucky on Friday night for the Truck Series. And Kyle, this series always puts on a good show, and there was excitement in this one.
And at Kentucky, and remember, people, the Cup guys are going there next year. This is a big deal. So many guys have tested the race. It's been a great nationwide race, and this is the controversy of the night right here. You see that Kyle Busch go around Todd Bodine, and Todd loses the air off his spoiler, and he spins. Later it comes back. But look at Kyle. You can read the number and read the entire sponsor. It's not like he's got him pinned down. There's plenty of room there. He just passes him clean on the outside.
The good news for Todd Bodine, though, he was able to come back around and win the race, but he wasn't happy with Kyle.
First person I got to thank is Kyle Busch for driving dirty, sucking me down, and getting me spun out to give us the gas. I mean, that's why we won the race.
So here's the big thing. Kyle heard on the PA system what Todd Bodine had said about him and decided he would go down and confront Todd right away about what he said about his driving. And now Kyle afterwards was a little bit hot under the collar, but Todd said it was just a racing incident. And he said that there was, actually Todd said it wasn't a racing incident. It was Kyle that did something wrong, but there are 2 sides of this story, and Todd definitely didn't agree with Kyle.
He wasn't happy that I called him out on TV. You know, it's a shame that he's such a good kid, and when you get him away from this racing atmosphere and he's off just being Kyle, he's a good kid and he's a lot of fun. I've been there with him, but you put him behind the wheel and he thinks he owns the racetrack, and he doesn't cut anybody a break. You know, and if this was an isolated incident, I'd let it slide. I wouldn't worry about it. But he drives that way in every division every week, and I called him out and he didn't like it.
So Todd is looking very good in the points with that victory. 261 up on Eric Almirola after 18 of the 25 races. And you also see Austin Dillon, Ron Hornaday, Timothy Peters all up there in points right now. But it's going to take a lot to catch Todd Bodine. And I think from what you guys said earlier, it's going to take a lot to convince you that Kyle Busch did anything wrong in that situation.
Go. Listen, Kyle Busch did nothing wrong.
That's right.
I mean, Kyle Busch just simply went around the outside. But let's get to the core of the story. This has been going on. Okay, here's Kyle Busch simply going around the outside. But I don't think this is what Todd Bodine is mad about. Todd really started getting upset with Kyle when Kyle punched the girl. What was her name?
The girl,
Bristol.
I don't know.
Yeah, he spun a girl out. I'm sorry, I apologize, I forgot her name. But spun her out at Bristol.
Yeah.
And Todd Bodine got mad about that. I think this is something that's building.
Yeah.
Yes. Tammy Jo. Kyle Busch spanned Tammy Jo out at Bristol. And I think Kyle or Todd's just getting mad.
And here's what I think. Okay, Todd says that he called Kyle out. There's a difference in calling somebody out and making a stupid comment. Todd's comment was a stupid comment. He just got passed. He got passed. He got the wind taken off of his spoiler. He spun out. Had nothing to do with Kyle Busch, for all you Kyle Busch haters out there. Kyle Busch drove clean. I've seen Kyle pin people down. That was not pinned down. That's when you're leading the points and you're leading the championship by 260-some points. You get a little cocky when you start winning a lot of races and you start running your mouth. I've been there. I know that. Okay, I've been there. That was not a call-out. That was not a call-out, baby.
I'm tired of Kyle
Not a
Busch winning all
call-out.
these races. Kyle
Well,
Busch
there's even more
winning all
reasons
them
for you
races.
to
call-out.
There's even more reasons for you to tune in from the Magic Mile as the Camping World Truck Series gets set again on September 18th. The world's toughest trucks mix it up on the Magic Mile, where teammates can turn into enemies and battles can turn into brawls. Don't miss the NASCAR Camping World Truck Series live from New Hampshire, September 18th at 2:30 Eastern, only on Speed. And we have our Speed girls and Chef Nikki. What is that? What is that?
I brought that in case you want some milk.
Thank you very much, Chef Nikki.
All right. Hey, this looked like some really good chicken.
You know what? That chicken's great.
I help make this stuff,
He
you know,
did.
guys.
This is beer chicken, and it's
That's
from
beer chicken.
Beer and
yes,
chicken doesn't get much better.
Budweiser from Anheuser-Busch. They should sponsor me.
The best things, if you were at Charlotte, you could use these chicken bones to throw at the race cars.
Absolutely.
This
I
is
always
good.
throw
This is
chicken
really
bone.
good.
You like that? Oh,
I really like that.
Isn't that nice?
I didn't think anything could top that hot dog from last week.
Oh, that's. You know what they say? They say Dale Earnhardt Jr. fans, they call it Chicken Bone Alley, and they say that somebody took your chicken, threw it out on the racetrack, and give Dale Jr. a flat tire one time.
Are you talking while you're eating?
Yeah, I'm talking.
Yes. Let's let Chef Nicky talk about what he's got coming up on the Racing Chef.
Well, you know, this week we got Travis Geisler. He's coming on. He's cooking his grandma's recipe. Outstanding. Marcus Ambrose, he put his chef hat on. He's cooking Australian lamb.
Did he make Vegemite?
He did. You know what? He should make Vegemite.
He should make Vegemite because once Vegemite made our friend Rutledge Wood throw up.
Did you draw this?
He's dead. Yeah, I drew that. Isn't that good?
That's really nice.
I'm practicing for my Halloween
That's
costume.
very nice
It's coming
right
up.
There's
Thank
a guy
you.
on Twitter named Veggie something.
Veggie what?
Chef Nicky, thank you very much. Great chicken, and you also had a really good sous chef as well. Jamie McMurray is knocking on the door of the chase, 100 points out, and he's going to come by and talk to us next. And also, Mark Martin will join us as well to talk about his quest for a championship run.
He's one of the greatest drivers ever, but we're focused on his off-the-track activities today. Chef chats it up with JR about what his foundation means to him and how parenthood changed his perspective on life. Heading your way, NASCAR Race Day on Speed.
Welcome back, everyone, to NASCAR Race Day, built by the Home Depot. Race number 25 of the 2010 season brings us to the Atlanta Motor Speedway, where they say they have real racing, real fast, and they aren't lying. Approaching 200 miles, getting into the corner, and we are looking at a very tight battle for the last spot in the chase. Right now, Clint Boyer has it, but there are several drivers that want it, and they want it bad. Jamie McMurray 100 back, Mark Martin not too far behind him, and Ryan Newman is also in contention for that last spot with 2 races left to go in this season. A lot will be decided out on this racetrack tonight, but one question is, can Kasey Kahne get another win in this race, pull off the repeat, and get himself into contention for that last 12 spot in the championship chase? There's one thing we know for sure, this new tradition here in Atlanta is catching on big time with the fans. They love coming out here on a Labor Day weekend and checking out some real racing real fast. Now, right now, Denny Hamlin and Jimmy Johnson haven't been performing exactly the way they want to. They're very close to both locking themselves into the championship chase, but they would love to get a win to turn momentum back on their side. Let's go to Hermie Sadler, who's standing by with driver number 11. Hermie?
Although early favorites to battle for the Sprint Cup Championship,
Only a few guys that can do it. We're one of them.
Denny Hamlin and Jimmy Johnson are looking to put their cruel summer behind them.
Got a spin, Jimmy Johnson.
Who the hell hit me? 31.
And it's Denny Hamlin.
The 18 just made it 3 wide for no reason.
Hamlin gets refired, but Jimmy's got damage to the front and the rear of the 48.
It's unfortunate, you know, after how hard we worked to get back in position, to have something that late in the going kind of take us out of a good run.
It's just so stupid. We're not even racing for the win. We're racing for 8th through 10th. Just at the end, guys, just going for it.
Since Jimmy Johnson's 5th win of the season at Loudon, he struggled mightily, dropping 7 spots in 7 races from 2nd to 9th, and has looked, well, rather human, averaging a 23rd place finish during that run.
We're going to wad up almost half the field. Sliding down to the inside is Kurt Busch. Jimmy Johnson gets it.
No wall, fellas. You all right, buddy? Yeah. Good. Johnson's hard. All right, guys, we're done. Go home.
Trouble for Jimmy Johnson. He tried to slow down and come in for his pit stall, but he missed the opening to pit road. He almost spun the car out. He has had to go around another lap, and he's going to give it one more go.
Damn, we're breaking this thing about to spun me out. The wheel to the left, or the wheel to the left.
And it's going to be a long, long stay here on pit road for Jimmy Johnson.
Tire on there. Turn the wheel left. Turn the wheel left. Get the tire on there. Hurry up. Hurry up. Too late. Forget it. Just stop. Make sure we get the splitter fixed right in lap down.
Kind of a sluggish restart for Johnson. He may lose the 2nd position. Now he squeezes up, and he's into the wall. Montoya turns him. Jimmy Johnson pounds the outside wall.
Dude, I left him room. What the hell? Bring me to pit road, bud.
heavy damage to Jimmy Johnson was dominated a good part of this race tonight.
We got somebody else here behind the wall.
Yeah, it looks
Denny
like
Hamlin.
They had a vibration in that 11 car, and even when he turned off the car, he could still feel the vibration in the shifter lever.
And like Johnson, Denny Hamlin cooled off once the summer heated up.
I think it's just not right.
With 5 wins in a span of 10 races, Hamlin was on the fast track to unseating the champ.
And you say red hot. That describes Denny Hamlin and the FedEx Toyota team as they score their 5th win of the year.
But in the last 9 races, Denny's been inconsistent, averaging a 19th place finish and serving up all goose eggs in the win column.
Hey, the hood just blew up, guys.
Denny Hamlin has a major problem. The hood has flipped back on his windshield.
I can't see, guys. Take the hood off.
That's some driving right there.
Tell you what, you guys worked your ass off. It's a shame you got to put up with it.
Well, fortunately in some respects and unfortunately in some other respects, Denny's been sitting here watching race day out here on that side of his bus. Let's talk about the good side first. 5 wins out of 10 races in the summer stretch to give you guys those 50 bonus points. Talk about what it's like to be on a roll, you know, that kind of season and win those races.
Yeah, I mean, that was it's unexpected for sure. Especially we knew we were gonna really wait till this time of the season to really, bring the best stuff to the racetrack that we had, and to really, it was unexpected to win all those races during that part of the year. We expected to hopefully win them later in the year, starting now. So we're excited about what we got with our FedEx team.
In the last 7 or 8 races, no question about it, you've not run bad all the time, but you had some mechanical failures and some problems. How do you erase that? I guess part of that was coming here and sitting on the pole this weekend.
Yeah, that remedies a lot, but I thought it showed some mad skills running with the hood up at Infineon. I mean, I couldn't see anything for sure, but no, it's... well,
you've got some of them rural back roads in Virginia like we've got. I mean, you got a lot of practice.
That's right, but you know what? Our chase starts now. We're going to pretend as if the chase starts here. We're not going to try to artificially start momentum when the chase starts. So if we can be at the peak of our momentum when the chase starts in 3 weeks, then that's going to be our goal. So we'll see what we got tonight.
And a big week for you guys, FedEx, and you were involved with a Red Cross program here in Atlanta on Thursday night. What was that all about?
Yeah, that was real exciting. We had a Race to Prepare event. Went to an elementary school here in East Atlanta and showed those kids how to be prepared in case a natural disaster comes about. You never know where some of these hurricanes are going to turn. So we got to teach some kids to be the leaders of the family.
Well, Denny Hamlin spoiled Ryan Newman's bid yesterday to win pole number 8 here in Atlanta, and he's looking to turn that qualifying effort into a win number 6 for this season, Johnny.
Hermie, thanks a lot. And guys, 2 questions for you. A, are Jimmy and Denny really slumping? And B, does it matter?
Well, I don't think they're slumping. I call this tough times. If they were slumping, I would look at Jimmy Johnson. He's on the pole at Bristol. He leads almost, the whole race and gets in a wreck. You look at Watkins Glen, as we showed in the feature. He's running good. He gets hit, and, he gets in a wreck. I think if you're slumping, Kyle, it means you're running bad. They're not running bad.
Yeah, they're not running bad. I think they're streaking, is the way I would put it. First, Jimmy Johnson streaks through the first 10 or 12 races. Then Denny Hamlin streaks through the second 10 or 12 races. They're the cream of the crop during their time of the season. The trick to winning the chase is going to be who streaks through the last 10. These guys are trying, and you heard Denny say it. We've got to start our momentum now so that we can streak through the last 10. And I think that's the big thing. It's not a slump. They've just lost a little bit of their mojo.
Because those are the most important ones, those final 10 races. And also, if you want to keep up throughout the week with what's going on in the Sprint Cup Series and all of NASCAR, check in with the NASCAR Race Hub. Here's Steve Burns with the promo.
Hi, everybody. I'm Steve Burns in the NASCAR Race Hub here in Charlotte. Join us next week here in the Hub. Our guests will include the boss man at Team Red Bull, Jay Fry. Jeff Burton joins us from Daytona, where they'll repave the track. And A.J. Allmendinger among those joining us here in studio, Monday through Thursday, 7 Eastern.
Thanks, Steve. He's a 4-time champion on the racetrack, but off the racetrack, he's doing some championship-level work on his own. We will check in with the driver of Papa's car when we come back. Welcome back, everyone, to NASCAR Race Day, built by the Home Depot, coming to you live from Atlanta, Georgia. NASCAR has always been a family affair for the competitors as well as the fans, and the kids have a lot of fun, especially here in Atlanta on this Labor Day weekend. Jeff Gordon is driving a special car tonight, and it was designed by his daughter, Ella Sophia, and it's in honor of Jeff Gordon's Children's Foundation. While a lot of foundations, almost all charities right now are struggling a little bit because of the economy, Jeff Gordon's Children's Foundation is finding a way to survive. And a four-time champion on the racetrack, Jeff Gordon is making a championship-level effort in his foundation and in his family life.
A lot of people, Jeff, that make foundations, it's all kind of about writing a big check. But it seems like the Jeff Gordon Foundation took time to research where the needs were and also figure out where your heart was. It seems like you guys really did your homework before you made your foundation to make sure that the money went to the right place.
Everyone has an experience that you know, draws them close to something that's important to them when it comes to charitable donations, and that's how mine started. You know, with Ray Everham's son Ray J being diagnosed with leukemia, and Ray and I being involved with the Leukemia Lymphoma Society, and we started racing for a reason. Then over the years, I worked with the Make-A-Wish Foundation, meeting children that came to the racetrack, and then of course Rick Hendrick was diagnosed as well, and so all of those experiences led me to want to do more. We decided that children were important, and primarily children dealing with life-threatening illnesses such as leukemia and different types of cancers. And then it's actually led to what we're currently doing, which is really focused on cancer research.
Like anything else, you have to surround yourself with the right people. Of course, Dr. Jeffrey Chell is so impressive with his research, what he's done, and some of the people we met from the Jeff Gordon's Children's Hospital. To have those people around you in the right place, that give you a good feeling about where the money goes, making sure it goes to the right causes?
Absolutely. It's about aligning ourselves with organizations that are doing the best work for all the right reasons, and really utilizing the dollars that come in. We try to make sure that you know, as much money as we can possibly bring in, that it's going towards those causes, and that we're efficient. You know, we want to be efficient and make sure we're making the biggest impact that we possibly can.
And you know, racing, it's been well publicized, has its problems with the current economic situation. Charities must be just as hard hit, but the Jeff Gordon Foundation has been able to keep the money coming in at a pretty steady level, hasn't it?
We have, and surprising in some ways, because you know that everybody's strapped. Our team has done such an amazing job of creating new fundraising opportunities, continuing to capitalize on the events we've had in the past with our bowling tournament in Indianapolis, our go-kart event. But our Corvette raffle is something that has really taken off, and it has a lot to do with some of the corporate sponsors that we're involved with and how we market it. And so we're very proud that through these tough times, we've been able to still thrive and grow.
Now, how did your perspective about this whole thing change when you became a father yourself?
For some reason, you know, I think because I was young when I got into racing and you know, was able to live out my dreams, I've always had this connection with kids. I love that interaction when I go to a hospital, and it's tough. You know, you're seeing children and families go through very tough times, and it's tough, you know, for me to interact sometimes because of that. But it's always something that I enjoy doing and still enjoy doing. But when Ella came along, you know, now I'm looking at the parents, and it breaks your heart. You really, you know, you really can't imagine what it must be like for them to go through what they're going through. I really have a whole new appreciation and desire to want to do even more. You know, it's one thing to try to find a better treatment, doctors, but the patient assistance and family assistance is something that we've also gotten into. Who would have ever known, you know, that we were going to have a children's hospital in Concord, that you know, everything was going to grow to the level that it is. We just wanted to try to help and make a difference. And it's grown into something now that is a part of my life. it really has taken a life of its own and has done tremendous, and it's something I'm very, very proud of.
September is Childhood Cancer Awareness Month, and the Jeff Gordon Foundation is encouraging race fans to show their support by making donations throughout the entire month. Money raised will go directly to research, treatment programs, and patient support for children battling cancer. Please visit jeffgordonfoundation.org for more information and to make your donations. Well, he's a 4-time champion and a 2-time dad, and Wendy Venturini is with the champ to talk about things on track as well.
Thank you, Johnny, and everyone knows that paint scheme that Jeff Gordon's carrying is pretty cool. My papa's car, designed by one Miss Ella Sophia. How neat is it to be riding around with your daughter's artwork on there?
Well, it's very cool, and a lot of added pressure on top of everything. No, you know, it's just so neat to go to Sam Bass's office and see how excited she was to see all the different paint schemes, and then, you know, them lay down a blank sheet of paper with the outline of a race car and have her just, you know, go at it with paint brushes and getting her hands in the paint, and then see what an awesome job Sam did of incorporating it all into the paint scheme. So it's a lot of fun. She's here. It's been a Ella and Papa weekend for us, just me and her, and having a blast, and she's really, really excited about Papa driving this race car.
And I'm sure that's not the only pressure from Miss Ella to get to victory lane today. How good do you think your race car could be to gain some more of those, make those zeros go to W's in your column?
Yeah, no, we would love to do that. You know, Atlanta has been a great track for us. Felt like we were one of the strongest cars the last time we were here, but we fought some tire issues. So it's hard to say. You know, this being a night race and all the practice we did during the day, I can't say we were very good during the day. But I'm very confident in Steve and our engineers and everybody on this DuPont Chevrolet of you know, the work that's going to go into making us a real factor in this race before it's all over.
I know everyone says that you can win a championship without winning a race with our new format, but how important is it to you to get that victory?
It's very important. I mean, I don't think anybody wants to win the championship without a victory, and I feel like, you know, it's going to take that, even though mathematically it's possible. We've been very consistent this year, especially on the mile and a halves, and we're going to continue, you know, to fight, you know, for the best position we possibly can every weekend. But we know we're capable of winning. We know how close we've been to winning, and you know, I think we're going to win before the season's out. And I'm hoping that we get us, like you said, some bonus points going into that chase and momentum.
How much has this racetrack changed in your mind this weekend? It's been hot temps, cool temps going into the night racing for tonight.
Well, I don't think any of us really know what it's going to be like. Maybe some of the guys in the nationwide race last night, you know, of what it's like when that sun goes down, and if it's a little cooler tonight. I think it's going to be completely different than what we practice with, and it's going to make for some real challenges. So all of us are playing that guessing game right now, trying to predict what setup is going to be best for when that sun goes down, and what it's going to take to win here, and what groove to run. You know, we've seen that top groove be the groove to win this race, but you can run the middle, the bottom, and that's one of the things I love so much about Atlanta. It's going to be an exciting race.
We look forward to it. Thanks for you for joining us on race day. Johnny, Jeff Gordon will start 18th today, but everyone's rooting for him beyond Jeff Gordon fans with that cool paint scheme.
Great paint scheme. It'd be great to see it in victory lane, especially for Jeff Gordon fans. 53 races. It's been 53 races since Jeff Gordon has visited victory lane. So, Kyle, there's a very big difference between wanting a win and needing a win. Which one does Jeff have? Does he want or need or both?
You know, that's a good question. First, I got to congratulate Jeff Gordon. He was one of the first guys to have a foundation in this sport, and he's always been committed to his foundation. In his spirit, in his time, in his money, everything, he is fully committed. It's not just the Jeff Gordon Foundation. It's who Jeff Gordon is. But I think right now, does he need a win? Yeah, you know, he can take or give a win. I don't care. You know, he's got so many wins and so many championships, but he wants that win really, really bad. I think Jeff has been more outspoken about those bonus points this year than any other year, and he wants that win as much for that one win to break that streak as he does for those bonus points. He does not want to go into this chase behind, and everybody's talking bonus points right now.
You know, they say that great athletes have to be self-centered, focused. It's all about me, I. I look at Lance Armstrong, 7-time Tour de France champion, and he comes out with Live Strong, the bracelet for cancer. My good friend Kyle Petty, 8-time Sprint Cup winner. He's becoming more popular for the Victory Junction Game Camp. My point is this: you're going to see these athletes like Jeff Gordon after their careers are over, they're going to become popular, more popular for what they're doing for society. And I encourage a lot of great athletes to quit being about me, helping, just their immediate areas. Congratulations to Kyle Petty. Eight Sprint Cup wins, and he's doing more good after his career in Lance Armstrong. I think Jeff Gordon is going to do the same thing.
Yeah, definitely. And that's what makes a true winner. And here on NASCAR Race Day, we want you, the fans, to be winners as well. And here is one way you can win. If you would like to enter to win an official Sunoco Racing fuel can, you can visit speed.com/Sunoco for entry details, official rules, and drawing dates. And you can have one of those official Sunoco fuel cans of your own. When we come back, we will talk about this racetrack that hadn't been repaved for a long time and tell you how to make it around. And you know how you can maybe win one of those nice crowns that those young ladies got on. Welcome back, everyone, to the Atlanta Motor Speedway and NASCAR Race Day built by the Home Depot. If you want a hot lap, you've come to the right place. It's Hot Atlanta. This is a fast lap approaching 200 miles an hour going into the corners to make things even more interesting. We are now just 2 races away from the cutoff for the chase for the Sprint Cup. Let's go to Joey Logano for our Home Depot hot lap.
Hey, I'm Joey Logano with your Home Depot Hot Lap. This week we're in Atlanta. One of the biggest things we need to focus on is finishing where we run. Basically, we've had fast race cars about everywhere we go. We just haven't been putting together great finishes. Bristol last week we sped down pit road, so we got to try to find a consistency to run up front. That's what it takes to make the chase. You see a lot of these guys, just consistency that gets them up there. So that's what we're struggling right now. That's what we need to do this weekend and try to build some momentum for the rest of the season and try to get ourselves up there in points where we need to be. So that's the biggest goal right now for us, and that's your Home Depot Hot Lap.
Joey, thanks a lot and best of luck. Let's hop aboard the car with Jamie McMurray. Of course, he won the Nationwide Series race last night. And one thing we got to look at on this racetrack, the last time it was repaved was 1997. So, Kenny Wallace, as you brought up earlier, we could see lap times drop off by 3 seconds by the end of a tire run.
Oh, we will see them drop 3 seconds. Well, let's decide where is he going to run. Right now, Kyle, he says he likes the bottom. And that's what's great about this racetrack. It's groovy. You can go anywhere you want.
Yeah, you ran the race here yesterday in the Nationwide Series. Where seemed to be the way once the racetrack got? Where were you guys running yesterday? All over the racetrack, or where was fast that you thought?
It was wherever you needed to be. Let's watch this car here. Okay, now look, he's totally different. He's going through the middle. Now, last night's race was won on the bottom by Jamie McMurray. We've seen Ryan Newman run high. Let's see where the Dodge chooses, and let's listen to his throttle.
Yeah,
what I want to point out is that this is a throttle racetrack. It is not wide open, let off, hit it wide open. It's half throttle a lot, right, Kyle?
Yeah, and you saw how quick, when he got down in the corner, you saw how quick he picked back up the throttle. As he went down into the corner, he got it down in the corner, then picks up the throttle, and it resets the car. He tools around, just as Kenny said, it's a throttle racetrack. You ride around half, 3/4 throttle, and then when you get it where you feel like you can mat it, you mat it. That's where these cars dance up off the corner, because when you mat it, if it's pushing, it goes that way. If it's loose, it comes this way.
I struggled forever at Atlanta. Here's what I had to learn. Here's what I'll teach you young drivers. It's not this. Here's Atlanta. All this, all in the middle. Kenny Schrader says there's 1,000 spots in that throttle, and that's what Atlanta is about.
And let us not forget that 3 of the top 5 closest finishes since the advent of electronic scoring at the racetrack have come right here at the Atlanta Motor Speedway. Now, many race fans from Georgia will recognize the name Jody Ridley. He is a native of Georgia, and he scored his only NASCAR Cup Series win at Dover in May of 1991. We understand that Jody is resting at home in Chatsworth, Georgia, after a recent stay in the hospital. Jody, we wish you a very quick recovery, and we want to see you back soon. Well, we still have so much more to come on this edition of NASCAR Race Day, built by the Home Depot. Jamie McMurray and Mark Martin are on the outside looking in, and we'll talk to them about what they're going to do to make it back in the chase. Welcome back to Atlanta, everyone. With 2 races to go before the chase cutoff, let's take a look at the championship standings. Kevin Harvick and Jeff Gordon are locked in. The difference there is 3 wins to none, but that could change tonight in a hurry. Kyle Busch, Edwards, Hamlin, Stewart, and Burton all have a good chance to lock in tonight, as does Kenseth and Jimmy Johnson. Kurt Busch, Greg Biffle, and Clint Bowyer are in now, but things can change, and they can change in a hurry. The guy with the best shot to dethrone Clint Bowyer right now is Jamie McMurray, just 100 out, and he definitely wants to take advantage of those 2 wins he got earlier in the season and make it in the chase. It has been a dream season so far for Jamie McMurray, who was on the outside looking in of the sport last year, wondering if he was even going to have a job. But now the 1 car has been to victory lane twice and is knocking on the door of the chase. Let's go to Wendy.
We all know how the night ended for Jamie McMurray last night in victory lane in the nationwide race. Even if we do this again for the Cup race, Jamie, doesn't necessarily garner you a spot in the chase. What are your thoughts going into today?
Not really any different than what we've done the past few weeks. We've had really fast cars. Our car today is not as good as what we've had in the past. So we've changed a lot of stuff on it. But, you just go out and try to get the most points. And I think I'm fortunate that I'm not really worried about it, and that Clint and some of those other guys are. We've already had a great season, and to make the chase would make it even better. But I don't know. I'm really not focused on that.
Now, you were one of the guys that had the chance to test here at Atlanta, and I did listen to your radio communication. You guys have worked on this car all weekend long. How much has it changed from testing till now and even throughout this weekend?
It's changed a lot, and the setup stuff that we've been running at other tracks, it hasn't worked here. And we spent 2 days of the test trying to make it work here, and then unloaded with it, and it just didn't have what we needed. So we've changed a lot this morning, and getting to do the test was nice because we got to read through all those notes. But it's amazing. You do those tire tests, and you come back, and the track's totally different.
All right, you said you're not focused on the chase right now, so what are you focused on for today?
Well, just getting to the front. After watching the nationwide race or running the nationwide race last night, it's a lot of green flag running, and if your car's a little bit off, you can go a lap down really easy. So fortunately, we got a pretty good starting spot, and just trying to stay on the lead lap and then be there at the end.
All right, good luck to Jamie McMurray. Starts 12th, and he's not the only one really close to making that chase.
We're catching up with Mark Martin here at the Atlanta Motor Speedway. We all know by now you're 14th, 101 points out of the chase. We know all that. I want to talk about your race cars. You've been very candid about the fact that we just don't have the speed we need or what we had last year to get it done. How about this weekend? Have you guys made any gains, and do you still have a chance to get this car up front and make some distance up?
Well, we had a encouraging practice for race setup, and the car felt really different than it usually does here, and so we thought we would go with that, and we'll see how it races. We're trying a lot of different stuff. We have been working really hard, all of us. We've been at the racetrack testing, all pulling together, and there is a huge amount of different little chassis stuff on setup stuff on our car this weekend. And after practice is over with, I've got to check with Alan, but I think our plan was to just give this thing a race and see how it races. It looked okay in practice, obviously not the fastest car here, but fairly competitive, and we hope it'll race better than it practiced.
To the fans watching at home, you guys had a tremendous season last year. Can that many things change in a year's time to where, I try to tell people all the time, things change from week to week, much less year to year, but how do you explain to the fans at home how things can change that quickly within a race team?
It's not just within a race team either. It has to do a lot with, the competition. They raise their game, and you've got to raise yours. And if you look in the wrong places, you don't get any returns for all the investment and the time. The spoiler is a little different than the wing. I think the tires are way different than they were a year ago, and they're taking stagger out of them just about everywhere we go, and that really hurts me because I like a certain feel. I think it forces you to run up the racetrack a lot more, higher on the racetrack. I'm a bottom feeder. I like the white line. I like a loose race car. And we have fought to get the car to turn with a stagger out and not just lose the back end completely. And we've struggled. We've moved up the racetrack some, but it hadn't been the complete answer. And we're just looking for just the right combination that really suits me and the way I like to drive the car. And right now we're learning a lot, but we haven't found that yet. We hope that tonight we'll race better than we have been racing, and we'll continue to work on new stuff.
one good piece of good news for you guys. A lot of talk about your future next year with Hendrick Motorsports. You guys had some good sponsorship news this weekend here at the racetrack. Tell us about that.
Well, we're really excited to have Quaker State on board again as an associate sponsor for everybody at Hendrick all 4 cars at Hendrick Motorsports. But to have them, Quaker State, as a primary sponsor for 4 races, it's awesome to see a great company like them with you know, the kind of dependability and durability and performance that they've shown all through the years. To be on our race car means a lot to us, and to have them come on board in 2011 to step up what their participation in the sport of NASCAR is a really good thing for all of us.
Well, Mark and these guys know they need a good finish tonight. He's going to be gearing for that to get back to victory lane. But one thing I like about Mark Martin, whether it's good or whether it's bad, he's always going to tell you like it is.
Hermie, thanks a lot. Can these guys make it in? Well, of course they can, but what is the most points in history of the chase made up for guys to get in? Brian Vickers made up 39 over 2 races. Casey Kahne made up 90. Now, over the course of 2 races, what we're looking at is Jamie McMurray having to make up 100. Of course, it can be done, but will it be done?
Well, you know, here's the bottom line. Clint Boyer has to wreck. He has to have something happen. And then, of course, Mark Martin, Jamie McMurray, those guys, they have got to win. So it's got to be catastrophic failure for one and complete euphoria for the next. You know, Mark Martin has to win.
Yeah, can these guys race their way into the chase? The answer to that is no. They cannot. They're not going to be able to race their way in unless Clint Boyer, the guy in the 12th or the guy in 11th, has catastrophic failure. Just like he said, there's no opening in the top 10 if they just race the way they're racing. There's not enough time to make up that 100-point deficit in 2 races. I truly believe that in the 2 races left. But if Clint and those guys stumbled, which they had a phenomenal race at Bristol, if they stumble here and stumble in the Richmond, then the 12th place guy can change.
Again, mathematically versus realistically.
Exactly.
And sometimes it is just, that's why you run the race out there, because anything can and will happen, and it will happen in a hurry out here at Atlanta. If the sounds of engines revving and the roar of the crowd gets you fired up, then racing's your passion. Check out Cheerios.com/love for heart-healthy tips and a chance to win the ultimate race weekend. Love your heart so you can do what you love. And one thing we love to do here on race day is try to guess who's going to win one of these races. We're not really very good at it, but you know what, we try nonetheless and have a lot of fun along the way. Kyle's good at it, you know. Okay, if Casey Kahne made up 90 points in 2 races to come back and get in the chase, we can certainly get back from 87 points on the evil Kyle Petty, who has led the whole dang season.
Evil Kyle Petty.
Not evil.
Kyle
You're
hasn't led the whole
evil.
season. Other people picked for Kyle. Okay.
But Kyle's led the whole season.
Okay,
you get to go
my
first.
Turn to pick. My turn to pick. Okay, here's something. First, let me apologize. It was Jennifer Jo Cobb that Kyle Busch wrecked that we all got wrong here. We never got that right. So let's clarify that right quick and apologize to her. Number 1, though, my pick is Denny Hamlin, okay? He's going to break that 2-way tie with that mean Jimmy Johnson, and he's going to go on to lead the points when they go into the final 10. Denny Hamlin's my guy tonight.
Ken Wallace.
My guy to win tonight will have his first victory in 2 years, number 99 of Carl Edwards. And I went to my fans out here, and I said, fans, can you help me check this out? They were so nice to me. There's the 99. There are my fans. I seen this sign on the side of the road. And I said, I felt like Sally Fields collecting that Emmy or whatever it was. And I said, they love me. They really love me. Now, there's this guy named Joel Robert in 3rd spot. You're John.
I got to say, that's the first time in the 10-year history of NASCAR race day that anybody's brought up a Sally Field reference. But I'm going to turn it over back to Tony Stewart.
They love me. They really do.
You simply cannot keep a good team down or a good driver. Tony Stewart's won on this racetrack before. He's hungry. He's going to go out there, and he's going to get another one for the big number 14. In honor of A.J. Foyt, it's going to be Tony Stewart tonight. Wendy?
Well, Johnny, I thought I was going to gain some points after our last weekend's race 2 weeks ago at Bristol, but so much for that. Here we are in Atlanta. I'm going with Kyle Busch, and the reason I'm going with him, fans, because he hasn't won this weekend. He lost in the truck race, the nationwide race. He's bound to win a race this weekend, so I'm sticking with Kyle Busch because I've yet really to win with him this season, so he's bound to get a victory at some point. Hermie, who are you going with?
Well, I got a question for you guys on the set. If Clint Boyer has to have something catastrophic bad to happen for everybody to catch up from 100 points, what do I have to have happen to catch up from 326 points back?
You're done. You're done.
Yeah, actually, mathematically eliminated it, Hermie Sadler, but you still got a race for pride, and I'm glad you're sticking with the Biff.
Mathematically, I'm irrelevant, but I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm taking Greg Biffle. I'm going to stick with the Biff. I like what I've seen out of this race team the last 4 or 5 races. They've had speed at high-speed racetracks. I'm sticking with the Biff, JR.
That's a good thing, and I just don't want to give away too much, but the new doggy calendar is out at Greg Biffle Foundation, and some two really good-looking dogs on the first page. I'm not saying any more than that. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we will send Hermie and Wendy down for what we like to call the lightning round. They will talk to your favorite driver, or at least we hope who is your favorite driver, when they get down to driver introductions in just a moment. Stick with us.
Saturday, the boys head to Virginia for the last tune-up before the chase. Will there be drama in the air? Or will Clint have that 12th spot sewn up? Big questions deserve a big cast, and we're rolling out the heavy artillery to answer everything you got. Live from Richmond at 5 p.m., NASCAR Race Day on Speed.
NASCAR Race Day is built by the Home Depot. More saving, more doing. That's the power of the Home Depot. Brought to you in part by Cheerios. Check out Cheerios.com/love for heart-healthy tips and a chance to win the ultimate race weekend. And by the General Automobile Insurance Services. For the best car insurance rates in town, call 1-800-GENERAL now.
I need to come to you over there. Help! What do you have with the help? I need to cheesesteak on these fry. Hey, come on. I need rain.
Well, perhaps that gentleman should consider a decaffeinated coffee, but at least his spirit is right. And we like that kind of spirit here on Race Day, because right now we're going to send you down in the heart of it all with Wendy Venturini at Driver Intros. Take it away, Wendy.
Thank you, Johnny. I'm with Clint Boyer. Everyone's watching Clint today, the man on the bubble. So you have a pretty nonchalant attitude about it, though, with a 100-point lead.
Well, I think you have to. I'm sorry. I was kind of shocked. I was standing here talking to Jimmy, and I thought you wanted him just naturally, but you wanted to talk to me. That's a good feeling when you stand next to Jimmy. I told the guys, we just got to have fun with this. I got to make sure we go out there, take care of business, don't beat ourselves. I really feel like that's the only way those guys can catch us is if we let them. And, certainly we got 2 tracks that's capable of anything can happen in this sport, but these are good racetracks for us. I love Atlanta. It's a lot of fun sliding around here, and then getting off into Richmond's probably, my best racetrack. So, I could think of 2 worse racetracks that have to fend these guys off than these 2.
How much is this track going to change, you think?
Yeah, absolutely. Just go after them.
All right, good luck to Clint Boyer. Let's head over to Hermie Sadler.
Yeah, I got a group of guys we're going to try to catch up here first. Martin Truex Jr., Napa Toyota, pretty good qualifying run for you yesterday. How's your car in race trim?
Yeah, it's pretty good. We worked real hard on Napa Toyota yesterday. Actually, we unloaded and I wasn't very happy. We worked a lot on the car and actually did some race trim stuff in second practice where a lot of guys just did qualifying, but got pretty happy with it. It's one of my favorite tracks, and I feel real good about tonight.
Hey, we'll move around the horn here. The other guys talking. Now, Brad, what are your goals for today's race? You just try to stay on 4 wheels, or try to get on top 5 finish, or what?
Well, it's always a good idea to stay on 4 wheels, but something about the Penske cars just run really well here at Atlanta, and we've been really strong all weekend here, so I think we can do it again.
Well, Dale Jr. is trying to help me do this interview. Do you want to talk, or you just want to try to do the interview?
I'll do the interview.
How about you interview Marcus Ambrose? Here you go.
Hey, Marcus, from Down Under. Have you had any little Debbie's this morning?
I've had plenty, mate. Little Debbie's on Sundays, no worries.
Is that no big deal? All right. Well, how's the Little Debbie, Kingsford, Kleenex, Goodyear, Toyota, Clorox? What do you drive, a Ford, Dodge?
I drive a Toyota, right?
You drive a Toyota?
Yeah, I do. But how's your National Guard Chevy, by the way?
Oh, it's all right. I think I'll be running around you probably most of the day.
Well, that'll be first and second then?
First and second?
Yeah, there you go. You got it.
Well, good luck, buddy, and we'll see you out there. Was that good?
No need for me to follow that up. Wendy, take it away.
I know. Jimmy and I are just over our shoulder watching this. We have lost control, Jimmy.
You have, and Junior's so social. I can't believe it. I mean, takes the mic and just runs with it. It's awesome.
How's your race car going to be for tonight with this? Obviously, the sun's starting to go down and gets dark and cool tonight.
We think good, but nobody really knows what the cars are going to do. We've seen, for ourselves, we've seen the track free up, we've seen it tighten up, so we're not sure what to expect, but we are excited because in that second practice session yesterday, we found some speed and got our car working right. So I feel that we'll be competitive tonight. This has been a really tough track on us since the COT's come along, and a good top 5, top 10 finish is exactly what we need tonight.
All right, Jimmy Johnson willing to take some chances, possibly with 5 wins as we come into Atlanta. Hermie?
I want to catch up real quick with AJ Allmendinger. Tell us about the Best Buy insignia forward for tonight's race. How about it?
I think it's pretty good. You know, we qualified 16th, which is like 10 spots better than I've ever qualified here. I'm terrible qualifying, but I really raced well here, and the car felt really good in practice, so I think the insignia best by Ford, we're going to be hooked up. I'll be on the bottom. Those guys are crazy up top, so I'm going to be right on the bottom there.
It's a fun racetrack, too. You can move all around this place.
Man, it's my favorite racetrack to race at. I love it. It's awesome, and, you know, we finished 6th here in the spring. Don't see why we can't do even better than that today.
A lot of optimism from A.J. Allmendinger. JR?
Hermie, thanks a lot. Now, fans, if you go out and ask 10 drivers, chances are at least 8 or 9 of them are going to tell you that this Atlanta Motor Speedway is at least, if not among their favorites, their absolute favorite. How do you guys like it?
I love Atlanta because it's old school. It's a big racetrack. But let me talk about Dale Jr. That will be the sound bite of the whole show today. Listen, race fans, that started a couple weeks ago. Dale Jr. wanting to let all of you know he's okay. We've covered his beard. We know how he gets home from the racetrack. We love that stuff, don't we, Kyle?
Somebody loves it, obviously. I'm not going to say we love it. I'm not going to say I really care. Let me be honest.
On all the social networks.
He did a good job, though, didn't he, Kyle?
He did a great job. He did a great job. I have to say, what did Jimmy say? I've never seen Junior be that social. That was incredibly social. You know what I mean? He actually tried to, and then he read off all of Marco's sponsor. Goodyear, Kleenex. Goodyear's on everybody's uniform. Okay. But
well, at least he hit them all.
That was a good interview.
But the quote of the day will be Jimmy Johnson saying, "Hey, Dale Jr.'s being social. The new Junior, we love you."
Maybe that should tell us something, because the number 88 could break through on the racetrack as well. Let's go back to, let's go right now. Let's take a hot lap around this racetrack with the number 88, Dale Earnhardt Jr., and show you just again how this place can be rough. Last paved in 1997. It's going to be tough on tires tonight, Kyle.
Yeah, and you know, here's Junior down on the bottom, and you heard AJ just say, I'm going to the bottom, and that's where I want to run all night. You see Junior come up off the corner. See how much room's to your right there. The problem is when you come up off the corner and somebody's high, you've got to give them that room, and you have to pinch that car down a little bit, and it bogs the car down the straightaway. You'll see these guys come off high. They look like they've got 100 more horsepower. You'll hear the announcers say the same thing. But Junior's right now in practice, whenever this was run, I don't know if this was run in the morning session or the afternoon session, he's chosen to set his car up on the bottom. And most of these guys choose to go to the bottom to set it up, knowing that if it works on the bottom, it'll work on the top.
Let's now go back to Hermie Sadler. Hermie?
Yeah, I just want to, kind of wrap things up as far as a points perspective. Everybody obviously chasing Clint Bowyer. And for those 3 guys we've talked about on the show today, Ryan Newman, Mark Martin, those guys that are trying to close this gap, I think what they have to try to do is try to get this gap closed down to like 50 points by the time we get to Richmond to give Clint Bowyer something to think about. Can they do it? Tune in to see. Wendy?
Well, Hermie, I am on the stage. If you look right over my shoulder, every single Cup driver is right here. And we're going to get access to all of them. As we're going off the air, they're busy. They just did a big photo with all the drivers. But check behind me as well. These fans at Atlanta Motor Speedway have all-star access today. I've never seen this many fans at Atlanta down here on the starting grid as these drivers continue to walk by. And we get ready for the start of the race. Johnny?
Wendy, we can't say it enough. It's been an absolutely beautiful weekend here, and we still have a lot of racing left to go tonight under the stars and under the lights as the stars of NASCAR take on the Atlanta Motor Speedway. Don't forget NASCAR Victory Lane, fueled by Sunoco, tonight at midnight Eastern Time. And now let us go to the Speed Report with Lee Diffie and Chris Devoto.